Welcome to the Maternity Mama podcast, where we talk about your pregnancy journey and beyond into parenting. We'll share our own personal experiences and the tips we've learned along the way. Maternity Mama is in partnership with MaternityTraders.com, where you can find gently used maternity clothes for a great price and have them shipped right to your front door. Hey guys, welcome to the Maternity Mama podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Granston. And this week we're going to be talking about something that I think is a lot of fun, shopping. But not just any kind of shopping for maternity clothes. Oh yes, because when you're pregnant, you have to have maternity clothes. So today on Maternity Mama, we're going to be talking about our top 3 tips when you're looking for maternity clothes, particularly online. How else do you shop anymore, right? So, congratulations first and foremost on being pregnant. There are so many exciting things to think about. You know, you've got names to plan and a birth plan to come up with, probably working on a nursery, thinking about a gender reveal party if you're going to do that. Lots of super exciting things to think about. And if you're like me, the last thing you want to be worrying about is maternity clothes. You know you're going to need them, but how do you know you're picking out the right stuff? How do you know that you're getting what you really need for these next few months? Because realistically, you might need a whole new wardrobe just for these months. And I know that you want to stay true to yourself and true to your budget while you're doing that. Well, maternity clothes shopping doesn't really have to be that tricky. I came up with 3 tips that might make maternity clothes shopping easier for you. Number 1. Stick to your style and your size. Maternity clothes come in all different styles, just like regular clothes, right? Of course. But what you might not be aware of is your style might not change dramatically just because you have a beautiful baby bump to show off. When I got pregnant with our first son, I swore I would just love to wear those really cute body contouring dresses that, just show off your bump and hug it perfectly like no other. I did not wear those before I was pregnant, though. But I figured I didn't have a bump to show off then. I would love to wear them now. Well, as it turns out, I still didn't like to wear them. Just wasn't comfortable in them. My style didn't change dramatically just because I was all of a sudden growing a baby. And yours might not either. Think of the clothes you've got hanging in your closet that you just love. That blouse that you're always reaching for, your go-to dress, your favorite pair of jeans. Think about those styles of clothing. You're going to want to find maternity clothes that mimic those pieces. While your style might change a little bit because you do want to show off your bump, of course, you're still going to want clothes that make you feel comfortable. So find the styles that make you feel good. You also want to think of what you need clothes for. As a teacher, I needed business casual clothes I could comfortably teach in all day. But I also wanted jeans and t-shirts that I like to relax in. So just be hyper aware of what you're going to be doing in the next few months. And be sure you have clothes to cover all occasions for that. In regards to size, as a general rule, you can typically buy the size that you were wearing before you got pregnant. But, of course, you know your body best. And if you've popped out a little bit more than you thought you would, go a size up. Just be aware of what your body is doing so that you are comfortable in both your style and your size. Second tip, think about the weather. Okay, now this might sound a little weird to some people, but when you're pregnant for 9 months, in some places, like Wisconsin where I live, that could cover all 4 seasons for a long period of time. It could cover all 4 seasons in 1 week, if I'm being honest. So you need to be aware of what the weather is like where you live. So you have all different types of tops or clothing to work with that. So maybe you're looking for different tops that you can layer different clothes with, or they go really well with sweaters and cardigans. I wore a ton of stuff like that had a shirt that went really well under a sweater, but then when it became summer in the afternoon, I could take my sweater off and my shirt still looked fine. You might also want to invest in a nice jacket that goes well with everything. Have a few pairs of jeans that you can also wear as capris, and purchase a few pairs of shorts if you think you're going to need them. You might want to find some dresses that could work both as casual, going shopping dresses, or also business casual dresses. or a dress for something nice, like a summer wedding you might need to be going to. You probably want to look at some work blouses and work pants that could make a few different outfits all together. Find 3 or 4 staples of each that you can move around together so that they all work nicely, depending on what your profession is. And like I said earlier, there are all types of maternity clothes, so you can definitely find what you need. It just goes back to being aware of different happenings in your life and what you need your clothes for, so that you can build a wardrobe that works for your life the next few months before this baby arrives. Finally, my personal favorite here at Maternity Mama, what I love to talk about, knowing your budget. I've talked about this before. I'm talking about it again. I'll talk about it in the future. I love to talk about budgeting and saving money, and especially when we're talking about babies and pregnancy and all that stuff, because there are so many things you could spend your money on, and I get it. It's super fun and super exciting. But if you're like me, you've got a budget to stick to whether you like it or not. And in regards to maternity clothes, you're only pregnant for 9 months, and you might not even need maternity clothes for that long. But while you have to have clothes that fit you and you're comfortable in, I would never suggest going crazy and blowing your budget. We're all about saving you money here. I have some suggestions to help you stay within a budget. First, use belly bands for as long as you can to make your regular pants work for you. If you don't know what belly bands are, you can find them at so many stores. I think I got mine at Target. They're just bands that cover your regular jeans and go up above your bump to kind of help work through that transition time. A lot of people also use the trick where you hook a hair tie onto your button and through the loop on your jeans to kind of help work through that transition time too. So use those to make your regular pants work for you as long as you can. Wear your husband's shirts to bed and around the house. Some people even manage to make super cute dresses out of them. I am just not that talented, but if you can do that, please send me a picture or a tutorial. I'd love to know how. And see what you have around that can help you get through that transition time. Maybe you lost weight recently and have some of the bigger clothes still in your closet. Or maybe your leggings can stretch just enough, and you can put a cute dress over them and call it a day. Try and make what you have work for you for as long as you can. What I'm saying is you don't want to rush into buying a lot of maternity clothes early, as you may realize that you need a different size than you originally thought. You just don't want to get caught having to buy 2 maternity wardrobes. But when you are feeling that you finally need to get some real maternity clothes, take some time to write down what you're going to need. Back to tips 1 and 2. Think about your size and style. Think about the weather and the activities you're going to be participating in the next few months. On your list, have several staple pieces that can overlap in many different areas of your life. Jeans that can be dressed up or down. A dress that is good for a day out shopping or a summer wedding. A cardigan that's comfy for the weekend but also stylish for work. Then you need to think of a budget and stick to it. Clothes are so easy to blow a budget on. I get it. But if you have it in your mind that this is my number to spend and I can't go above it, you can do it. It also gives you more money to spend on cute baby stuff, Finally, with your list in hand and your budget in mind, go bargain shopping. Maternity Mama is in partnership with MaternityTraders.com, which actually sells gently used maternity clothes for a really great price. You'll definitely be able to stretch your budget there and get all the items you need, where you might be a little bit more strapped at a bigger box store. Plus, just for listening to this podcast, MaternityTraders.com is going to give you 15% off your entire order if you use the promo code MMPodcast15. Just type it in when you check out, all one word, MMPodcast15. So budget shopping is definitely going to be one of the ways you can make your budget stretch out for you, and being aware of what you need helps you stick to your budget too. So, just a quick recap. Top 3 tips for buying maternity clothes. Number 1, be aware of your style and size. These things may not change dramatically during your pregnancy, and you're going to want to be comfortable. Number 2, be aware of the weather and what's going on in your life during your pregnancy. Be sure to have staples that can cover many different occasions. Finally, number 3, know your budget and stick to it. Don't break the bank for a wardrobe you're only going to wear for a limited amount of time. You can also find this list on the blog in our show notes or on maternitytraders.com. Maternity clothes don't have to be so daunting. Stick to our tips and you'll feel confident in your choices. And also don't forget you can get 15% off your entire order at maternitytraders.com using the promo code MMPodcast15. Thanks for listening to the Maternity Mama Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube by searching Maternity Mama Podcast. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to the Maternity Mama Podcast. Be sure to listen in every week and click the follow button wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube by searching Maternity Mama Podcast. Also, don't forget to check out maternitytraders.com where you can have gently used maternity clothes shipped right to your front door. We'll see you next week.